This is the all-new Nissan Qashqai, and it is a very, very important car because, believe it or not, it is motoring royalty. And that's because it's not only the king of the crossovers, but it's the car that started the craze off in the first place. And today we're getting our first look at the heir to the throne. But before I get into this video preview, remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more awesome videos just like this one. Let's go! This is unmistakably Qashqai, but look a little bit closer and there are some significant differences to go through. These LED headlights, for instance, are all new and they've got some inspiration from the Aria electric car. And then there's the grille, which not only sits a little bit deeper, but is surrounded by this chrome panel. It just gives the car a bit more presence on the road. Moving further around, we've got a little thing here that says Qashqai, just in case you forget that you're driving a Qashqai. And then it's the side profile of the car that I actually really like. Now, it might look pretty normal to you, but so many cars lately are overcomplicating things. We've had a few cars in recently that just look like they've had scrunched up pieces of paper stuck to the side. There are so many angles, but this is nice and clean with just one crease running from the front all the way back to the rear of the car. I love it. It's really clean. Then there's the roof line. So on this car, it's actually got a dual tone system with the black roof, but there are a few different combinations you can go for. We've also got a new color here as well, which is a metallic blue, although from a lot of the angles you'll see it, it looks though it's matte, but that's just the studio that we're in. And the roof line itself has a slightly sloping effect with a bit of a wing back here. Dare I say it's coupe-like? Not quite, but it looks really sleek, and most importantly, I like it. Now, we're not the kind of people to bash cars for having fake vents, and this is going to be no exception. But what I really like about the Qashqai is not only have you got this cutout here, which gives the car a bit of aggression, but it's actually functional, so air can pass through here and come out the back of the wheel well, and that improves aerodynamics. Not quite Formula One territory, but it should help with fuel economy. And while I'm down here, I also wanted to point out the LED headlights. So not only do they look really cool, but if you go for the Matrix version, what they'll do is they can actually bend around objects. So let's say you've got a car in front of you, and instead of blinding the driver, what the lights will do is dim the section of where the car is ahead of you and then illuminate the bit around them. How cool is that? Now, when the Qashqai goes on sale, you'll have a selection of 17, 18, 19, and 20-inch wheels. Now, these are the 20s, and they come with a diamond cut finish, so you get the silver on black look. But you don't need to go for the top end to get the same look. You'll be able to get it on all but the lowest edition cars. It looks great. At the back of the car, Nissan's done quite a lot of work, actually, and it looks much more striking than the previous model. It's less complicated, and while I wouldn't call it minimalist, I do think it just looks a bit more streamlined and, dare I say, premium compared to the old Qashqai. Now, if we open up the boot, which is power assisted for the first time on the Qashqai, we find a new 504-litre boot, which is 74 litres more than the old Qashqai, which is massive, a huge improvement. You've also got storage under the floor if you want to tuck stuff away, and the parcel shelf will fit under there as well. And you can also use this as a luggage divider. Nissan has massively streamlined the Qashqai's engine lineup. With diesel cars falling out of love and with sales falling by the day, it comes as little surprise that the Japanese car maker has skipped on the devil's fuel altogether. Instead, you can choose between either a mild hybrid version, which gets a 1.3-litre motor, or an e-power hybrid, which gets a 1.5-litre motor. Now, the mild hybrids kick off with a 138 or 156 brake horsepower power outputs, available in front-wheel drive form and with a manual gearbox. But if you go above that, you can get two 156 brake horsepower models, either in front or four-wheel drive form, and they're connected up to Nissan's Xtronic, which is a fancy name for a CVT gearbox. Now, the 48-volt mild hybrid system works by regenerating energy under braking and then using it when you're pulling away from, let's say, a set of traffic lights or a junction to save on fuel. The e-Power develops a whopping 188 brake horsepower, but it's a little bit different to a normal hybrid engine. So while most hybrids have a petrol and electric motor working in tandem to power the car, instead what you have here is a petrol motor that charges up the battery, and the battery is what feeds the electric motor and drives the front wheels. So that should save you a lot on your fuel, and you don't have to charge it up like a regular electric car. Instead, all you have to do is just fill it up at the pumps. We're in the new Qashqai, and wow, they've really gone to town on the cabin. This feels like a huge improvement over the old car. And I think the important thing is just nailing all the touch points. So the steering wheel feels really lovely. It's got this nice minimalist design and it is wrapped in leather. It just feels really nice to hold. And we've also got leather on the doors and on top of the dashboard. There's also this Japanese-inspired wood around the center console and also on the dash. It looks really, really tasteful. Another thing I love about the Qashqai is that you've got physical buttons in here. So many new cars come with touch surfaces everywhere. And we've got physical buttons here, and the Qashqai is better for it. So if you want to adjust the climate controls, you push a proper button. If you want to increase the volume, you turn a knob. And if you want a shortcut to the nav, you just press the map button. It all works and it's really good. Now, the infotainment software itself has been massively updated and it is much sharper and a bit more colourful. The only thing I will say though is it's a little bit laggy, but to be honest, are you going to be using this? You're probably just going to plug in Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and it is wireless in the new Qashqai. Now, we don't know how the trim levels are going to line up just yet, so we don't know where the digital instrument cluster is going to lie. I've heard that it's probably going to be most likely the mid-level and upper-level trims that are going to get it. But having a digital cockpit is a huge improvement, and it's a nice high-resolution system, and it's nice and snappy. So it is a massive improvement over the old analog cum digital systems on the old car. We also have a wireless charger down here, and Nissan says it's the fastest in the segment. It's a 15 kilowatt pad, and that should give you 100% battery on your smartphone in around about an hour. We've also got two very decent cup holders in the center here, and also a split armrest with a nice big bin at the bottom, which has actually got a USB-A and USB-C charger in. Pretty nifty. So one of the cool new things about this new Qashqai is the wheelbase has been stretched. So that's opened up quite a lot more room in the back here. Now, the old Qashqai was known for being a little bit tight in the rear, but I have so much space. Now, I'm 180 centimeters, and if I sit upright, I've got a lot of room still to go. And this has actually got the optional panoramic roof in, which usually cuts away at headroom a little bit. So if you just go for the regular roof, you'll have even more headroom. Legroom's great too, so I've got the driver's seat in my position and I don't need any more room. That is absolutely loads to go with. There's a tiny transmission tunnel in the centre, so if you are sat in the middle seat, you should be absolutely fine. And we've also got two chargers, one USB-A and one USB-C, so you've got all the new and old school kids covered. So there you have it, the new Nissan Qashqai. It's a pretty good looking thing, isn't it? And it's crammed full of tech. Now, the only thing left to do is go out and drive it. But it's not ready just yet. The Qashqai will be launching a little later this year, and so we can't tell whether it's going to retain the crossover crown just yet. But make sure to keep it right here on the Yes Auto YouTube channel for when we do have a review that goes live, and you can stay up to date with all the latest motoring news and reviews by heading over to yesauto.com.